ಶ್ರೀ ಗಣೇಶ ಶಾರದಾ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ. ರಾಮಾಯ ರಾಮಭದ್ರಾಯ ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರಾಯ ವೇಧಸೆ ರಘುನಾಥಾಯ ನಾಥಾಯ ಸೀತಾಯ ಪತಯೇ ನಮಃ. Welcome to all for this session on Ramayana to chapter 93 of Yuddhakanda. In the previous chapters, we saw the death of Indrajitu, who was killed by Lakshmana with his great valor. Even Lakshmana was wounded heavily and was taken back to Rama, where he was treated by Sushena for all his wound and was recovering. Meanwhile, Ravana, who had lost his son Indrajita and lost almost his right hand because of that, was in total despair. Holostya's ambassadors, having learnt of Indrajita's death and confirmed it, conveyed the tidings to Dashagriva Ravana in all haste, saying, O great king, your illustrious son has been slain by Lakshmana, who was accompanied by Vibhishana. We were witness thereof. That hero, confronted by a hero, measured his strength with Lakshmana's, your son, undefeated in any combat, he who triumphed over the gods with Indra at their head, has gone to the celestial regions, having been overwhelmed by Lakshmana's shafts. Hearing of the terrible, cruel, and grievous end of his son on the battlefield, that bull among the Titans swooned away and only came to himself after a long time. Distracted with grief on account of his son's death, that unfortunate one beside himself burst into lamentation, crying, O you, conqueror of Indra, how have you suffered yourself to be overcome by Lakshmana this day? In your wrath, once you won't you be will you not be able to strike down Kala and Antaka themselves with your shafts, as also the peak of Mandara mountain? How much more was it possible for you to strike down Lakshmana in the fight? Hereafter, the King of Death will be held in greater reverence by me, since today he has brought you under the sway of destiny, O long armed warrior. Even among the celestial hosts, this is the path trodden by those skillful warriors who wage a brave fight. He who is slain in the service of his Lord goes to the heavenly regions. Seeing Indrajita slain this day, the gods and all the guardians of the world, free from anxiety, will sleep in peace. Now the three worlds and the entire earth with its woods appears deserted to me without the only Indrajita. Today I shall hear the cries of the youthful daughters of Nairaratas in private apartments like unto the roar of elephants in a mountain cave. O hero, where have you gone, relinquishing your right to the throne to Lanka, the Titans, your mother, myself, and your consorts? Assuredly, I should have preceded you to the abode of death so that I might have received those honors due to the departed, offered up by you. But the contrary has taken place. O hero, why do Sugriva, Lakshmana, and Raghava still live, and why have you deserted me before you had rid me of this triple thorn? Having first lamented thus, Ravana, the king of the Titans, was overcome with a violent rage on account of the death of Indrajita, and the grief at losing his son increased the fire of anger within him, who was irascible by nature. As in the summer months, the rays of the sun become more intense. From his half open mouth he seemed to breathe forth flame and smoke in his rage, as Vratra formerly from his eyes naturally red were further inflamed with fire, glowing in dreadful wise. Under the sway of anger his aspect ever a source of terror, caused him to resemble the enraged Rudra. Tears fell from eyes of that infuriated monster like boiling oil from two flaming lamps. Grinding his teeth, he made a sound like unto the revolving of the rod, with which the gods and Danavas turned the milky ocean. Mad with anger, like unto Antaka, eager to devour all beings, animate or inanimate, he allowed his gaze to wander over the four quarters of the horizon, nor did any Titan dare approach him, and in a transport of rage, the king of the Titans, seated amid his warriors in order to excite their ardor, said, having practiced penance for thousands of years and gratified Swayambhu on countless occasions, as a fruit of my austerities, he accorded me complete immunity from devas and asuras. Brahma bestowed a coat of mail that gleamed like the sun on me, which in my conflicts was the gods and asuras. None of my enemies, though armed with thunderbolts, were able to shatter it. Today, clad in that armor and mounted on my chariot of war, who will dare to withstand me, be it Purandara himself? The great bow with its arrows bestowed on me when I gratified Swayambhu after an encounter with Devas and Asuras, that redoubtable bow will be drawn by me to the sound of countless musical instruments in a mighty battle to Rama and Lakshmana's destruction. Tormented by the death of his son, the ferocious Ravana, overpowered by anger, having reflected within himself, resolved to slay Sita. Rolling his reddened eyes, that cruel and terrible Titan, in his anguish, said in the presence of all the rangers of the night, in plaintive tones, my unfortunate son, in order to deceive the monkeys, having had recourse to Sita, showed them an illusory corpse, saying, this is Sita. Verily, it shall become a reality now. I shall slay Sita, who is devoted to that evil right. Having spoken thus, he seized hold of a sword that was well tempered and bright as the stainless sky, and rushed out in haste, surrounded by his wives and counselors. Ravana, whose heart was torn with grief on account of his son, picking up his sword, rushed out to find Maithili, and seeing the king setting out in a great rage, the Titans emitted leonine roars, and embracing each other, he said, today we shall see those two brothers humbled. In his anger, Ravana has overcome the four guardians of the world, and countless others have fallen under his blows. The three worlds have yielded up their treasure to him, whose prowess and valor have no equal on earth. As they were speaking thus, Ravana, in a transport of rage, was rushing to where Sita was to be found in the Ashoka grove, and though his friends sought to restrain him, he ran on, as in the sky the planet Rahu peers down on Rohini. The irreproachable Maithili, in the midst of the female titans who guarded her, beholding that furious titan with a great sword, was seized with terror, and the daughter of Janaka, Sita, seeing him, continued to advance with that weapon upraised. Though his friends sought to restrain him in the height of misery, wailing uttered these words, beholding that wicked wretch rushing upon me in fury, I who am defenseless, but who yet have a defender, fear that he intends to slay me. Despite my loyalty to my lord, he entreated, he entreated me again and again, saying, be my consort, and I constantly repulsed him. My refusal has assuredly caused him to give way to despair. and in a transport of fury, he is preparing to slay me. Or it may be that those two tigers among men, those brothers Rama and Lakshmana, have on my account been cut down today on the battlefield. I hear a great clashing of gongs and the exultant shouts of innumerable people rejoicing. Who unto me, the two princes have died for me, or else this titan of cruel intent has come to slay me on account of grief over his son, or he has been able to slay Rama and Lakshmana. Why did I not follow Hanuman's counsel? Miserable creature that I am! If I had departed seated on the back of Hanuman, I should now be resting happily in the lap of my Lord. Assuredly, Kausalya's heart will break when she learns that her son has perished in the fight, and weeping, she will recollect the birth, childhood, youth, virtuous deeds, and beauty of that magnanimous hero. Overcome with despair, having offered up the obsequies in honor of her dead son, distracted with grief, she will ascend the funeral pyre or cast herself into the river. Cursed be that wicked hunchback Manthara and her sinister counsels. It is she who is the cause of the sufferings which will overwhelm Kausalya. Though Sita is lamenting in this way, she knows in the heart of her heart Rama is still alive and Rama will certainly going to release me from all these miseries. And she know the mindset of Rama. He never accept Sita being conquered very easily. He certainly want to attack over Lanka. He wanted to kill Ravana, and only then he will going to accept Sita, whatever be the love that he has towards Sita. Hearing the unfortunate Maithili lamenting thus, she who resembled Rohini fallen under the sway of Rahu in the absence of the moon, a virtuous and honest counselor, the sagacious Suparshva, seeking with his companions to restrain Ravana, the king of the Titans, said to him, why, O Dashagriva, do you, the younger brother of Vaishravana himself, seek to put Vaidehi to death in an access of rage, disregarding the law? You who are a student of the Veda, who has been purified by pious observances, and who delight in the scriptures, how are you able to harbor the thought of slaying a woman? O valiant monarch of the Titans, spare the beautiful Maithili and loose the vitals of your wrath on that man entering into combat with him with our aid. This is the 14th day of the dark fortnight, and tomorrow on the day is the new moon. March to victory surrounded by your forces. Generally, the new moon day or the Amavasya day is considered most auspicious for demons to start their fighting. Courageous, armed with your sword, in your excellent chariot, a mighty car warrior, you shall cut down the terrible Dasharati and take possession of Mithila's daughter. Because Ravana has already made the mistake of abjecting Sita in the absence of Rama. Now, because of his anger towards Rama and Lakshmana, if he kills Sita, he will once again face the same kind of a wrath across the world to be who consider him as a bigger coward. Instead of that, whatever anger he is having, if he direct it towards Rama, and if he could successfully able to kill Rama and Lakshmana, then he can take a rightful possession of Sita. This is what is the argument put forward by Suparshva that please the demon king Ravana. Thereupon the wicked and powerful Ravana, giving ear to the judicious words of his devoted counselor, returned to the palace and re entered the assembly hall surrounded by his friends. Thus come to the end, chapter 93 of Yuddhakanda in Ramayana. Namaste Sharada Devi, Kashmira Puravasini, Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam, Vidyadanancha Dehime. Goodbye.